continues its activities. First, about what happened during the day from the front line. Yesterday, unfortunately, late at the evening, during the fights, the adversary managed to capture Kubatlu and advance in some directions. Tomorrow, with the interactive map, we will show those territories. Today, early in the morning, as it was mentioned by the Defense Army, the armed forces of Azerbaijan, joined by various terroristic organizations as well as the armed forces of other countries, in southeastern direction had broad-based attack in several directions by shelling in parallel and bombarding in parallel the cities of Artsakh. We have already the official information about the civilians. Through the course of the entire day, those groups did not manage to crack over the front line, this lane, although in some places they had seeming success, but our troops have managed to counterattack and to restore the front line. At the same time, previously mentioned, in the forests of the villages north of Hadrut, we continued the search and the distraction of subversion groups. Some subversion groups, even leaving the vehicles, have escaped. However, in some villages, the fights are going on in Sheikher, Jivanik, and Azokh, and other neighboring villages. The search and distraction activities are going on. Yes, my dear people, the adversary had some successes in some places. Yes, they have approached the gateway of Sunik. However, the situation is not catastrophe. I believe in the strength of Armenian soldier, in the thought, the Armenian soldier today and tomorrow, even it has retreated, it has made escape the special forces of one of the leading armies of the world. In some cases, we retreat. Yes, we retreat. The human lives are very important, but we capture. And the situation is very severe. The fights are very severe, but this is not a desperate situation. We're all together jointly. Today, the Armenian general, machine gun in his hand, is fighting. The Armenian general with anti-aircraft weapon is fighting. He's standing next to the soldier, next to the voluntary. I believe that we will win. We have seen many such days in our history. We have thought in this kind of decisive moment. But I do believe that we will win. But we have no alternative, because this is a fight of our existence. Now, before getting to the questions, I would like to give the floor to my colleague. After that, I will get to my questions. Thank you. Dear citizens, first of all, I would like to guide all of our citizens and our compatriots living in diaspora, who from the very first day of the war organized the shipment of humanitarian assistance, and there are several clarifications to be made, and I'll have to make some emphasis, which is particularly is addressed to our compatriots living in diaspora who send humanitarian assistance intensively sent to Armenia. And in several lines, I would like to mention how the receipt and the distribution of that cargo is organized. First of all, any cargo that enters into the Republic of Armenia is consigned to the state, or all the cargo received in the name of Ministry of Emergency Situations, we take to the warehouse of Ministry of Emergency Situations and we sort the cargo according to the best. In that cargo, sometimes there are health cargoes, defense cargoes, food and clothes. We put aside the food and cargo and we send them to Artsakh, which is a priority for us, and to the people living in Artsakh. And some part of that cargo, that food and clothes is distributed to our compatriots who have arrived from Artsakh. This is our first priority, and I would like to let you know, sometimes there is cargo when our countrymen send to a certain address here. So the moment when we receive this cargo, we cannot give it to the legal persons of Nagladvale. If there is a specific address that we have to rectify, we have to organize it with the help of the communities. So the community has to inform us beforehand that it has the need of certain amount of food, and from the warehouse of Ministry of Emergency Situation we can provide this food to the given community. The entire cargo is documented. The receipt and handover is given by receipt and delivery, and we have got the report of all those consignments. One more time, I would like to call upon our compatriots, especially our countrymen from diaspora, who continue to provide the assistance to Armenia, to trust in public administration body, and public administration bodies guide the cargo according to addresses and according to the designation. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, dear compatriots, very often the various initiatives refer to us, and we always call upon them. We request not to waste our resources, very often not to repeat the same things, not to acquire some materials again in order not to run out of some supplies. Please coordinate it with the Ministry of Emergency Situations. So today we have several questions. Mr. Hovhannisyan, Aliyev today threatened, saying, if there is an aggression, if there is aggression against us from outside, they will see the power of F-16, and it denied that the F-16s have been used against Armenia, irrespective of Armenia's level. I can prove just one piece of material. Yesterday, one of U.S. blogs published satellite image, U.S. satellite images, where we saw Turkish F-16 parked in Azerbaijani airport. It's sufficient, but we have proof and we have information. Have F-16 have been used, like precise missiles have been used by F-16, as well as some missiles in charge of specific military tasks. When the matter is about the threats, we are not surprised and we're not afraid of Azerbaijani threats. It's been a month that we see Azerbaijani threats and we see those actions. There is a video on web about Azerbaijani speaking Armenian. I have no such information, so I'm not dealing with the identity of POWs at our disposal. They are individual structures. So if there is need, we will present them one by one. There is a question in Russian from Armen. Today, State Committee of Azerbaijan of Prisoners of War and prisoners made a statement when it stated they offered the Armenians to exchange the bodies of POWs and civilians. However, so far they have not received an answer from the Armenian side. So what is the situation with the given issue? My dear viewers, so, it would be funny if it went that dire. In 3 capitals, they tried to establish ceasefire, from 3 capitals. After not establishing the ceasefire, there will be clear assessment. Before and after those agreements, and they have mentioned the exact addresses who doesn't want to go on with the ceasefire. And I don't really think it is appropriate to discuss that issue here, because the world knows who adheres to the ceasefire, who does not, in which direction the adversary is regrouping, including transportation of armed equipment. Does our intelligence follow, and how do we manage to guess their follow-up activities? Naturally, I do not ask you how. So, what is the participation of Armenian manufactured drones? Yesterday, there was an official video about offensive drones. Yes, we made an official statement about our drones. Unfortunately, we do not have that many of them, but they are playing their role, and Armenian thought is working in this direction. If there is need of supplying with additional pieces of edifice, and when the matter is about the directions, I cannot ask the direction. You ask the question and you don't want me to tell me how in various places. So we have surveillance, we have got intelligence. Yes, we know the directions and intentions of the adversary. Our military thought is there that the military leadership has got an excellent command over the situation, and no matter that in some places we have to regroup, to retreat, to conceal it. Sometimes under the influence of superseding powers, sometimes 10, 12 times, they have more troops against our troops. And thanks to the brilliant and excellent planning of our military thought and intelligence, information, etc. So they control the entire situation, but sometimes because of the overwhelming number of the adversary, we see that there is no need of fighting till the last soldier. That's why we're doing some regrouping. In the rest of the cases, the military leadership is decisive, it's strong, it's bold, and it knows the situation. Many cases, our commanders stand next to our soldiers, rank and file officers, in order to counter the attacks, and another to counter and shoot the armed vehicles. Next question. Mega News Agency. Do you organize exchange of the shift of the servicemen in Artsakh? This is military secret. The shifts are doing according to the planning, according to the phases of military preparation, according to the importance, according to the directions. Maybe you have got some friends and relatives who are interested in those issues, but let's not make these issues a subject matter of briefings. So the draft is going according to the plans. So we have a training period, harmonization period, and only after that they get to the military zone. And sometimes we have got very heavy combats installed. In some places, this shift cannot be exchanged. In some places where it is relatively easy, there are not that many attacks. We have normal course of replacement left. More able to fight units, experienced units that have already experienced, and they are regrouped and they are taken to some other directions. So this is a normal process during the war. During the war, we have got military science, and very often we do not guide a war. We do not lead a war by the people's perception and people's understanding of the war. No more questions. So much, my dear people, believe in the arm and strength of Armenian soldier. We will win.